Hello everyone, it's Halloween, but it's also the 1 year anniversary of Reaction Engines Limited going into bankruptcy, or as it says on Wikipedia, entering administration. I don't know if that's the British equivalent of bankruptcy, but they didn't have enough money, basically. And it's never good to go into bankruptcy. They ceased operations and laid off most of their staff, but maybe it's not the end of the line for the idea they were working on. Who knows? Bankruptcy isn't always the end of developments. And in this case, they were developing the Sabre engine. The Sabre engine is an engine that can do air breathing initially, acting like a jet, and then eventually turn into a rocket engine. So first it takes in the oxygen from the air and burns hydrogen from the fuselage. And then it goes into closed cycle mode, in which case it's no longer breathing air because it'll be so high that it can't do that. There's not enough atmosphere. And so it'll use the oxygen inside of the body with the hydrogen to go into rocket mode. So that was the idea that they were developing, but obviously they ran out of money. And it's still an interesting thing to work on. Is it a good idea as the whole Skylon thing? It was going to be used for this spaceplane called Skylon, which is a single stage to orbit spaceplane that could bring about 12 tons to low Earth orbit, in theory. Then they might have been working on just going hypersonic. It was a whole complicated thing. I don't know exactly what their ultimate goal was by the end, but anyway, I was only interested in it in terms of getting a payload to orbit, and what we have here is actually 10 tons. So if I take it out, it's a little bit more than 10 tons. So that is what I'm going to be trying to carry. And my goal here, I've tested this before, but the thing is I haven't tested it in a long time, and I would like to remember how to do it. Basically, it's so tight. The requirement for Skylon to get to orbit is so peculiar that I need to remember exactly how it's done. So that is the goal of this video on this sad anniversary for its developing company. The first thing we need to do is figure out exactly where we need to start rocket mode. It seems like it's right at 520,000 liters. So that's where we'll have to switch. Okay, but otherwise this is sort of a fun thing in the hopes that there will be a revival. Before I take it out, I better switch to jet mode again. Okay, and we'll take it from the shuttle landing facility, even though I'll have to make a turn. Okay, well, I had to time warp to daylight, but that has only affected the electric charge, so that's not a big deal. Right, so atmospheric autopilot I will use. Hopefully it'll allow me to get off the runway. Sometimes if you're using atmospheric autopilot, it won't let you pull up all the way. You'll note that limits the pitch. So sometimes I have to turn it off and just use SAS. But throttle up, and let's go for it. Now, with KSP, when we're using Ferrum Aerospace Research, the mod, there is the problem that we tend to have to take off at higher speeds than we ought to. And this is a very heavy, low-lift aircraft right now. So, I tail struck it. But if you're using it, and it is part of my airplane mod, you'll note that the engines were overheating there, and we don't want to go past the speed of sound right now. So keep it below 300 meters per second, and you can get it from my plane mod. I'll link that in the video description. But you can bring far up to see the Mach number, and we're basically going to ascend at about 240 meters per second, but I'm trying to remember how to do this properly, so we'll see whether I can make it to orbit. Or whether even I don't remember exactly how it's supposed to go well. But yeah, we need a lot more speed to get off the runway than we ought to. But still, it's a very heavy aircraft with very small wings, so it needs a lot of speed. It's got enough wing to come down, but that's when it's practically empty. Right, it'll land at a decent speed. But we'll need a lot of runway to take off. So we're aiming to switch at 520 kiloliters on the hydrogen. So that's how much we get to use in air breathing mode. And we're looking to get to Mach 5 by that time, or about 1500 meters per second. And we'll make the switch at about 28 kilometers in altitude. Well, it's a little bit wiggly. It tends to side slip a lot because it's only got a very small vertical stabilizer. Okay, we should level out, and basically it needs to maintain a 15-degree pitch. So we're going to accelerate here and we'll go full throttle. And hopefully we'll get to 520 by the time we get to Mach 5. Then I'll switch to using this. So we want a 15-degree pitch. And roll 0 and atmospheric autopilot off now. So we're at 28 kilometers and just accelerating as much as possible. Mach 4, but we're getting close to 520 now. Well, we'll just have to take that. Mach 4.3 right now. And we pitch up to about 30 degrees. Don't want to have too much angle of attack. I'll close the air intakes. So it should say, well, it should have closed the air intakes. Well, I'll just do it manually then. Maybe I didn't have them action grouped in this install. It seems like it's gonna be a bit short. We do still want to get lift insofar as we can. But essentially we do have to get to Mach 5 by the time we want to switch to closed cycle rocket mode. I pitched down a little bit too much. Maybe going steeper first to get out of the high drag thick atmosphere is better. But yeah, this is why I wanted to do this, because I know it's difficult. It's easier if you don't have a payload. That would make it fine. That would solve the problem in a hurry. We do also have to actually reach space normally, so that's another thing. Well, I could do the hypersonic airliner deal. We could put passengers in there and have it, you know, do the suborbital stuff. But I would like it to be able to bring a payload to orbit instead. Right now we are not getting enough with that. So, alright. Let's try it again. Let me cut it down just a little. I should create an airliner version of it though. Let me say 8 tons. Why does it not show the tonnage here? It also doesn't seem to be reducing the avgas quantity. Come on. Oh, there's something weird about this tank. Yeah, it's not adjusting the avgas quantity. Let's get a new tank. I don't trust that tank. Okay, 8 tons to orbit. Okay. Atmospheric autopilot, and here we go. Probably we don't need full thrust, It's troublesome when it overheats. Okay, trying to lift off nicely. Okay. Good enough. It's an interesting idea. Is it a good idea? Well, if you can get the engines to work. The engines are a worthwhile development and very interesting. I don't know if I got better this time. But maybe the lighter load will help. Once we hit 28 kilometers, the air intake struggle. Okay, Mach 4. Well, 1300. Maybe we can get to 1400. Almost. Okay, we have to go. Air intake's off. And rocket mode. About Mach 4.6, but still not gonna be enough. We'll see how bad it is, but it's still not gonna be enough. I'll try and get out of the denser part of the atmosphere more definitively this time. Let's say 1 minute to apoapsis. Well, hopefully that'll be better. We will see. Well, it's sure looking like either things have changed somewhat or I've forgotten how to Skylon. Well, we are about 800 shy of orbit, and we didn't technically get into space as far as real solar system is concerned. So that's not good. On the bright side, maybe we could reach Africa eventually if we skipped a little bit off of the atmosphere. I wonder how well it can do that. I mean, when I say skip off the atmosphere, we're technically still in the atmosphere. Let's just see how it goes. We can turn on the RCS. The residuals is enough for the RCS, I think. Now let's go with this way to do things. But yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out something. It seems awful heavy, isn't it? 87 tons. We've only got 8 tons of payload. Let me take a look at how much it was supposed to be dry, if I've got that. Seems awful heavy. That's like the full space shuttle. Doesn't look like it should be as hefty as a space shuttle. You know what? I bet you the landing gear is too heavy. Look at how much max safe load it has, 1040. These adjustable landing gear, I think they got messed with. That's my best theory, because I know I can do this, darn it. The capacity of this is supposed to be 15 tons, actually, according to Wikipedia. But the empty weight is 53.4 tons. And once we add in the 8 tons of payload, that'd be 62.4 tons. So we've got 20 extra tons, and I swear it's just the landing gear. But I'm just going to see how it does on this sort of suborbital profile. Can we skip up? I mean, right now we're going to be ending up in the Atlantic. Can we skip up enough so that we can get to Africa is the question. It sure doesn't have a whole lot of wing in order to do this sort of skip glide thing, so that's a problem. But let's take a look at the pitch to see how much is being used and whether it's still in control. Got a lot of negative vertical speed here. Uh-oh, overheating. That RCS thing is the entire body. Pretty well controlled, though. Still has air intake for some reason, even though I closed the intakes. Okay, we are going up. This is the skip part. still hasn't extended us all the way to Africa or anything. But up we go. Things cooling down. And we reached our vertical speed peak. Peaking out at 83 kilometers. Not bad. 84 now. We could start the fuel cell. Probably won't make too much of a difference. Here we go again. And going up again. Okay, our peak this time was 69 kilometers. Getting closer. We do have landing sites at Dakar, which is where we are currently aimed for. There's actually this site here in whichever islands these were. Capo Verde? I forget. Anyway, whichever one this is. We have that and these. This is my aircraft install. So more runways than usual. Assuming it's not just icons on the map and there's actually a runway there, of course. Okay, third dip. Milder, and we're gonna start going up soon again. We have passed that airport. Another bounce up, but a very small one. Well, now we can reach, but we're not sort of turned towards where we need to go if we're going to land right there. So let's try and coax Smart ASS to do that. I don't want to take manual control yet. Can we do this without it going out of control? Well, it's very well controlled though. It's making this kind of turn at Mach 6.7. Angle of attack of 45 degrees trying to do this. Certainly turning. You'll see. I guess I'll target this one, if I can. Create a waypoint? Is that what I want? Let's just go ahead and pick target on map. Close enough. That'll give me the distance up here anyway. Well, we're getting a little bit too slow for me to be entertaining that much angle of attack. I mean, it should be down there somewhere, so it's in view. And that's always a good sign for your ability to land at a place. I took way too much time on this whole skip, glide, and landing, so I'm going to have to check the landing gear. I will check the landing gear in this episode, but I'll have to make further attempts with Skylon in a different video. Very well controlled. It's a very good design, actually. I wonder if I open the air intakes, will we slow down? I don't know if there's any sense that there's a difference. Doesn't seem like it. Sometimes the air intakes are really powerful in that, as acting as air brakes, but sometimes they're not. Is there even a run? Oh, I see the runway. Is that really oriented the right way? I thought it said 826 here. That's not runway 8/26. Oh no! I don't have... I can't control... Okay, hold on. Right now I can't control it because I don't have comms. Well, I'm not going to enable comm network then. How about that? Good. Oh boy. Hemispheric autopilot? Come on, help me out here. Yeah, the runway seems to be oriented just like north and south instead of what the map indicated. Well, at least it's here. I have no way of forcing this to slow down. I have no air brakes. It's very pointy, so it has trouble slowing down. There's not a lot of drag. S turns may be necessary. Just turning does a lot, though. Oh, it gains speed rather quickly. Okay. Let's try and get rid of some of that. It flies really well. It's sort of weird, but there we are. Okay, we probably don't want to get too much slower than this. Don't know the exact stall speed. Well, that'll have to do. Whoa. Oh, suddenly it felt like we were going much faster. What the heck? Ah! Suddenly it sped up, I swear. I don't know, there was some weird thing went on there. Oh, okay, well, I lost the great Saber engines. But yeah, I swear, for a moment there, it really sped up, and I was confused. Maybe I was just... Maybe the point of view just got me disoriented. Okay, well, engineless, but here. Let's take a look in the SPH to see if I'm right about that landing gear. Well, something's too heavy, right? It's not supposed to be this heavy. It's supposed to be 62.4 tons with the payload right now. I think I have a patch for adjustable landing gear that makes it a little bit more sensible in terms of the mass. So let's just get rid of the fuel. Okay, well, it's not showing anything, but 84.773. And then if I take off the main landing gear, 60. So, and then that here it's 58.8. So that means that the landing gear alone, something has set this landing gear, probably because it was tweak scale, mind you. Yeah, it's scaled to 2x. So the scaling factor on it is just whacked. And since it was 58.9, the landing gear is what? 25 tons? Landing gear is about 25 tons. So yeah, that was our problem. I'll try it once again in a subsequent video, but this time we got skip gliding with Skylon, and next time probably the landing will work better too, because, well, but then I really need to add air brakes. So that's whole business. We'll do a whole Skylon mission, I promise. But I just wanted to see what the problems were, and I found a problem. I found a problem. The adjustable landing gear has gotten us the wrong dry mass. So I'll try and fix that. I'll try and fix that as a patch to advanced landing. Oh, sorry, adjustable landing gear, so that it doesn't scale so badly, because I'm sure I'll have that problem with other planes as well. So, all right, skip gliding with Skylon. That was that. Very scary. Very appropriate for Halloween. So with that, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do press like. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time.